Hi. Today, for my informative speech, I'm going to be talking about marriages, the rates, the ages that people get married, and the divorce rates. Marriages back then were more common, they were more taken into consideration than it is today. Back then in the 1960s, for an example, 79% of 18-year-olds would marry during the 60s. The average normal back then was 23 years old for a man and 20 years old for a woman to get married. Everybody got married. They wanted the family unit. They wanted the White House with the picket fence. They wanted to be the cleavers, I guess. They wanted the men would go, to their jobs, and the women would stay at home, and they would become housewives, take care of their kids, and then they would take care of their men when they would come home. The divorce rate in that era, in the 60s, was 23%. It was not common back then to get divorced. People would stick it out. People would stay together for the sake of their family, for the sake of their kids. Then the 80s came around. The 80s, between the 80s, the average groom was around 26 and the average bride was 23. So people in the 80s were starting to wait a little bit to get married. They were getting to be a little bit more independent. Divorce rate was about 50%. So half of the marriages would end up in divorce. In the 80s, the time was changing where men were staying at home. Some, they were staying at home. Women were trying to be more independent, trying not to stay at home. They didn't want to do the typical wifey stuff. They wanted to go out, get a job, get a career. Wanted to be more self-reliant on themselves, more independent than depending on a husband. Then came the 2000s. The weird thing is between 2013 and 2016, the divorce rate dropped. It dropped a lot. But the average rate went up. The groom was 29 and the bride was 27, so they were really waiting. Nowadays, people tend to cohabitate first. They want to see if they could learn how to live with each other without actually getting married first. Also, everything changed. Now men are the ones who are staying at home while women are being the breadwinners. And it's alright, because men now want to stay home with their kids. They want to take care of their kids. They want to have that role. And women, have the freedom to choose to go out and have a career. They don't have to have kids. They don't have to stay home. Marriage today is not taken lightly, I think. Marriage, is not a thing that everybody wants nowadays. I remember growing up, I wanted to get married. I wanted to have a full, big wedding by church and everything. But that's just not how it went. I'm I got together with my boyfriend, had my son, my daughter. Not until I had my third child did I get married with my husband. We've been together for 16 years, but we've been married for only 6 years. And honestly, we just got married just by the court. We didn't get married by church or nothing. We just went to the court, signed the papers, and got married. Just so he would be sure of himself and me and our marriage. I mean, it's sad, but nowadays that's how it is. Hopefully, in the future, the rate will continue to stay down, because a lot of people are going to marriage counseling. They're trying to stay more with their partners. They are communicating a lot better. Relationships is all about that communication, and trust and love. And that's it. Thank you. Bye.